Westwoods Elementary has been home to 6th grade teacher Annie Brown for 11 years, a place where she shared her values for community service and education with her students.
2 years ago, my class and I did a community service project, and we sponsored a child and raised money to pay for her education. So last summer I went with that organization and met her and met the other sponsored children.
It was in a country halfway around the world, Malawi, in Africa, with an organization called Children of the Nations. She came home believing she needed to do more.
You go and you do your short-term projects and you just feel like you could do so much more if you stayed longer. So I committed to going for a year to help carry through the long-term projects.
In reality, it's something Brown has been dreaming about since she was only 13. That's when she saw a TV show that impressed upon her the lack of educational opportunities for young women in Africa. Her mom recalls the moment.
She walked in the door and said, like she always does, "I know what I want to do. I'm going to build a school in Africa." And I went, my heart dropped, and then I went, "Ash, look it over it." I totally just forgot about it, but she didn't.
So just weeks after school let out this year, Brown began carefully packing her bags and preparing for the year ahead.
Just seeing what an education does and the future and the possibilities and things that you can have just in our own kids, you look over there and you just think it's such a disaster and you don't know where to start. But the place to start is with the kids and with educating the kids. Even changes that you want to make in your own country, it starts with educating the kids.
This year, Brown's students took the project to heart, too. They collected pennies for bricks to build a secondary school for villages in Malawi. When built, the school will give kids aged 11 and older a place to continue their education. As it is now, many leave school at that age because they don't have money to go to a boarding school outside the village.
They had heard stories from my trip and had seen pictures and wanted to help. And I was telling them how a brick costs a penny here. So they decided that we should collect spare change throughout the whole school. So we, put containers in every classroom, and they put together little presentations and shared with all the other classes.
Westwood students raised about $5,000, enough to build and furnish 2 classrooms, and also raised their awareness.
They know how lucky they are and how much they have, and that the world is at their fingertips. They learn the value of a penny, and just that it doesn't take a lot to make a big difference if everybody works together.
For Brown, who holds a master's in curriculum design, the year ahead is a chance to do even more.
I'm going to be designing the curriculum and training the teachers so that when the school is built, they'll have teachers and curriculum.
She'll be living on a compound with other Americans and traveling to the villages from there.
I think it's harder for people that don't know where I'm going, because I know where I'm going, and I know that I'll have a bed, and I know that the people are good, and I know that it's safe. So it's easier for me, and I'm just excited.
It's been a long dream of hers. Can't not support somebody's dream that takes them to where they think they're supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. You have to support that. It's amazing when I look at her pictures of a teacher writing on the right-hand side of the board and a student writing on the left-hand side of the board, and they just take turns. They're teaching from their heads. They're teaching from no curriculum, and they're just teaching from what they know. And the kids are starved for education. So you can't be passionate about education and see these people starved for education and not want to do what you do the best. I'm proud of her, and I'm not surprised, honestly.
I'm just really excited and anxious, and know that, it'll fly by. And for as rural as you are, and for, being on the other side of the world, they have the internet, and they have all of those things.
Brown plans to stay in touch with students at Westwoods Elementary through phone calls on Skype, and looks forward to sharing her experience with them.
I think it teaches them that they have the power to change the world, that they're 12 years old, but they have the energy and the passion and the power, and that it doesn't take a whole lot more than just telling people, because people are anxious to help.